This morning, the Norwegian Star arrived in Reykjavik, Iceland. We've got an awesome tour lined up through Viator to check out the Golden Circle, hitting spots like Kerid Crater, Gullfoss Waterfall, Geyser Geothermal Area, and we'll finish off our day at Thingvellir National Park. Come with us as we discover the wonders of the Golden Circle. Before we dive into this adventure, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This way you can follow along as we travel through Northern Europe, including stops in Edinburgh and Invergordon in Scotland, as well as Molloy and Aalesund in Norway. We'll also be visiting 3 breathtaking ports in Iceland: Akureyri, Ísafjörður, and Reykjavik. This morning, we sailed into the port of Reykjavik under a beautiful sunny sky. The weather today was quite surprising for me, and we were grateful not to have to bundle up for our excursion. The disembarkation process on the Norwegian Star could use some significant improvements, especially in ports where passengers are required to go through customs. The scene as passengers disembarked from the ship was chaotic, with everyone scrambling to get off the ship as fast as possible. It was frustrating for guests who had independent tours to catch. There was no clear sign of where the line to disembark actually began, which led to a bunch of lines trying to merge into one, leaving many passengers feeling angry. Thankfully, once we made it off the ship, the immigration lines in the terminal were long, but at least well organized. We eventually made it through customs and headed to the parking lot to find our tour operator. While we waited for the remaining passengers who were still trying to get off the ship or dealing with customs, we noticed a bus service that provided rides to and from Reykjavik's Harpa Concert Hall. The price seemed reasonable, $20 US for unlimited trips. There was also a sightseeing hop-on, hop-off bus, of which some passengers took advantage. Once everyone in our group was accounted for, we hopped on the bus and were off on our tour of the Golden Circle. After a brief drive, our tour guide suggested stopping at a local coffee shop for some coffee and donuts. We made a pit stop at a popular tourist spot on the Golden Circle tour called Almar Bakery, which is tucked away off the highway in a shopping complex. Features restrooms and offers a tempting array of house-made pastries, sandwiches, soups, coffee, and tea. With long lines at the bakery, we opted for the nearby ice cream shop instead. To our surprise, they also served Icelandic hot dogs. And since we hadn't tried one yet on this trip, and you must have a hot dog while in Iceland, we decided to go for it. So here we are, we've got the famous, or the world's most famous, Icelandic hot dog. This must be the brand, because that's Pilser. It's got some nice toppings. It got, some kind of relish on there, mustard, ketchup, mayo. First bite. Good. Really good. Icelandic hot dogs are a delicious mix of organic grass-fed lamb, pork, and beef, delivering a rich and savory taste that's hard to resist. During our first visit to Reykjavik in May 2024, we made sure to check out the iconic Bajarins Pestu Pilser hot dog stand. I'll share a link to that trip, which also featured an amazing puffin watching tour, in the notes below. We were soon back on the road, making our way to Kerid Crater. Along the journey, we enjoyed stunning scenery, including Karen's favorite sight, Icelandic horses peacefully grazing in the fields. As we continued driving, our tour guide highlighted Langjökull Glacier, the closest glacier to Reykjavik, which we'd encounter a few more times throughout our Golden Circle tour. The view upon arriving at Kerid Crater was stunning. At around 6,500 years old, Kerid is relatively young compared to other craters in Iceland, which is why its slopes are red instead of the usual black.
Yeah, so the water, again, it fluctuates between 10 and 15 meters of depth. And the minerals in the rocks have created the aquamarine color that you see. And the red colors of the rock around here
This vibrant color of the rocks, combined with the bright blue water, makes Kerid one of the most photogenic spots in the country. Our tour guide was also a professional photographer, which was a nice bonus since he offered to snap a photo for anyone on the bus who wanted one. He organized a walking tour that went all the way around the crater, which would take roughly 20 minutes. Since time was tight, with only 25 minutes to check out the area, Karen and I decided to skip the tour and make our way down the steps to the water's edge. Unlike the rocky and challenging steps we had encountered on some excursions earlier in our trip, these were newer and well maintained, making the descent a breeze. The view from the crater's bottom was just as stunning as from the top, and there's a nice easy path to stroll around the lake. Climbing back up those steps had us huffing and puffing, but the breathtaking scenery and the sparkling clear waters made it worthwhile. After capturing some last photos, we hopped back on the bus, excited to head to our next stop, Brewerloth Canyon. Our visit to the canyon was brief, as it's not particularly large and doesn't offer much in terms of sights. The highlight is definitely the milky blue glacial water, although in today's lighting it appeared more green than blue. Still, it was worth the quick 10-minute stop to admire the unique rock formations. As we left the canyon, we were treated to stunning river views on our way to the Geyser Geothermal Area. Upon our arrival, we were instantly captivated by the amazing geothermal activity all around us. With steam vents, bubbling mud pots, and colorful hot springs, the scenery was truly something special. The highlight of the area is Strákr Geyser. Strákr means churn in Icelandic, perfectly capturing the geyser's bubbling action before it erupts. Known for its reliability, Strákr erupts every 4 to 10 minutes, shooting water up to 65 feet in the air, making it one of Iceland's most famous natural attractions. Even with a large crowd around, finding a good spot for a clear shot of the eruption is easy. Strákr doesn't give you any warning before it blows, but you may notice the pool bubbling intensely. And when it begins to sway, that's your signal. The eruption is on its way. Although not every eruption is a showstopper, waiting for the right one is definitely worth it. The geyser area features several bubbling geysers, but only Strákr actually erupts. If you stroll a little further past Strákr, you'll find the Blessi and Konungsfjörður geysers. Blessi Geyser was the first hot spring we came across, featuring 2 connected pools. Although it doesn't erupt like it used to, its vibrant blue water gives it a unique look, almost like a pair of eyes from above. The southern pool is steaming hot and fiercely bubbling, while the northern one offers a more relaxing temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Next up was Konungsfjörður Geyser, or the King's Spring. While it has also stopped erupting, its striking blue color is captivating. What sets it apart is how its colors can change daily, ranging from crystal clear to various shades of blue, green, or even reddish brown. Lastly, we have Litli Geyser, or Little Geyser, which was once known for its impressive eruptions that soared up to 33 feet. Since the late 1800s, it has become mostly inactive, with just a gentle bubbling. However, like many natural wonders, there's always a possibility that Litli could spring back to life. There's a visitor center just across the street that has food, restrooms, and a gift shop, which is really handy. We were pressed for time and encountered long lines, so we missed out on trying the food even though it looked tasty. Our next destination was Gullfoss Waterfall, one of the most breathtaking waterfalls in Iceland. Fed by the Langjökull Glacier, the water tumbles down into a lower canyon, creating an unforgettable sight. We visited on a sunny day, and the sunlight hitting the mist formed a beautiful rainbow arching over the falls. While Gullfoss means Golden Falls, we didn't see any golden hues, but the view was undeniably stunning. There are several viewpoints around Gullfoss, each offering a unique perspective of the waterfall's 2-tiered drop. 11 meters for the first step, and 21 meters for the second. These viewpoints not only provided a breathtaking view of the falls, but also allowed us to peer into the deep canyon below. Feeling adventurous, we made our way down to the rocks, getting as close to the falls as we could. Watching the water rush by was incredible, and despite getting a bit wet from the spray, the experience was worth it. Once we were back on the bus, we enjoyed more stunning views of the Langjökull Glacier before making an unexpected stop to meet and feed 3 Icelandic horses. Icelandic horses are one of the oldest and purest breeds in the world, having remained isolated since Viking settlers brought them to the island. In AD 982, Iceland's parliament passed laws banning the import of all horse breeds, ensuring over 1,000 years of genetic purity. While individual horses can be exported, they are not allowed to return to Iceland, a rule designed to protect the horses here from diseases and maintain the bloodline. Despite their small size, these animals are never referred to as ponies. They are always called horses. What makes them unique is their temperament. They're curious, calm, surprisingly friendly, thanks to living without natural predators for centuries. The horses were absolutely adorable, and Karen and I were really happy to have the opportunity to meet them during the surprise stop on our tour. Our final stop on our tour of the Golden Circle was Thingvellir National Park. The park is home to a remarkable geological phenomenon where 2 tectonic plates, the Eurasian and North American plates, meet. This unique location is the only place on Earth where this rift is visible above sea level. The fissure allows visitors to literally walk between Europe and North America. Our tour guide took us to Logperk, or Law Rock, the historic site where Iceland's first parliament was established in 930 AD, making it the oldest in Europe. The open-air assembly was the political center of Iceland for over 900 years, until the parliament relocated to Reykjavik in 1798. Although there are no signs indicating its exact location, archaeologists pinpointed it in 1907. Today, a tall Icelandic flag proudly stands on a rocky ledge, marking Law Rock as Iceland's most revered political site, symbolizing the country's rich tradition of open lawmaking and democratic gatherings. While our tour guide was speaking, someone in our group noticed an Icelandic Arctic fox hunting in the marsh below Law Rock. This fox is unique because it's the only native land mammal to Iceland. Most people recognize it for its beautiful white fur, but many don't know that its coat changes with the seasons. In autumn, the days get shorter, and the fox grows a thick white coat for winter. As spring arrives and the days get longer, it sheds that coat for a darker one in summer. This sighting was quite rare, and our tour guide mentioned that in his 20 years of living in Iceland, he has only seen 4 Arctic foxes in the wild. Everyone in our group paused to watch the little fox as it dashed through the marsh, searching for what our guide thought was probably duck eggs. 2 tourists were particularly lucky because the fox ran right in front of them, and they had their cameras ready to capture the moment. I can only imagine how amazing those photos must be. It seemed like the little fox was successful in its hunt, as we later saw it running back to its den with a prize in its mouth. This experience was not only exciting, but also a reminder of the unique wildlife that can be found here in Iceland. Thingvellir is also known for its breathtaking landscapes and a variety of hiking trails. Among its notable spots is the Drowning Pool, which carries a haunting history. This site was once an execution ground, where women were drowned as punishment for crimes deemed shameful by society, with at least 18 women sentenced to death by a gathering of the National Assembly. The last execution occurred in 1739. Karen and I wrapped things up with a steep hike back to the bus, along the rugged cliffs of this geological wonder, the edge of the North American continent. We both felt fortunate to have experienced something so unique that few get to witness. Tonight, we're spending the night on the ship in Reykjavik, and it's time to pack our suitcases after an incredible 25 days aboard the Norwegian Star. We have an early morning ahead of us as we catch our flight back to Ohio. Our journey through Northern Europe has been amazing, and I hope you'll keep following us as we venture to our next destinations. Lisbon and Porto in Portugal, Dijon, Bilbao, and La Coruña in Spain, as well as Le Havre, France, Bruges, Belgium, Amsterdam, and Hamburg. See you next time. Cheers! Before diving into our upcoming port reviews, in our next episode, we'll share our experiences dining at the specialty restaurants on the Norwegian Star. Join us as we explore Cagney Steakhouse, Teppanyaki Hibachi, Le Bistro French, La Cucina Italian, and Ginza Asian restaurants. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow along on our adventures.